If you're a big time fan of the NFL, then you heard the saying it's a copycat league, right? And basically what they saying is if you see a team they got a strategy that they having success with, then it's only doing your due diligence to at least add a variation to that play or that strategy into your playbook and take what you can out of the progress that they making and turn it into a successful strategy for you. So that's just common practice in any game that you play in. I thank you. Shout out to Professor Black True, man. I get a lot of valid information, a lot of talking points, a lot of just key elements that we need to fight white supremacy. I get it. I get a lot of my inspiration. I draw a lot of my inspiration from Professor Black Truth. Okay. Now today I was studying or listening or whatever you want to call it, and Black Truth pointed out some actions that racist Ronald Reagan was taking back 50 years ago. That's kind of similar to the plays that we running right now. So I'm just gonna let's see the first part of this clip.
Himself, this is 50 years ago, mind you. He made an interesting point about whether or not the United States ought to be part of the UN and how the best thing the U.S. could do would be to withdraw from the voting process of the UN as a means of undermining the UN's legitimacy. I'm going to play for you now a clip of Ronald Reagan right after he made that racist little tirade to Richard Nixon. Here's a clip of Ronald Reagan being interviewed on the Dick Cavett show in 1971, and this is how Reagan spoke about the entire affair when he was in front of polite company.
Are you upset about, what would you say the major things are that have happened in the last year that you would consider a bad development? Of course, I'm thinking of the UN exclusion of Taiwan and all that.
Yes, I was not only disappointed, I was a little indignant about that. Here's a nation that was one of the founding nations, the last of the big four, still alive, Chiang Kai-shek from World War II. And all these years, they've abided by the bylaws and the Constitution of the United Nations. And also, while only 14 million people are on Taiwan, they have paid their dues or assessment to the UN on the basis of the 700 million Chinese on the mainland. Yeah. And I know the United States had recognized it didn't have the votes any longer to keep Red China out. But by dropping their opposition, the understanding was that other nations would not oust Taiwan. And the plain truth of the matter is they just plain double-crossed the United States.
Did you feel that the president should have tried harder, or his team, to...
Okay, I want to say what I heard so far. Basically what he's saying is out of the Chinese nations, there was one of the Chinese nations that was on the ballot to whether they was valid or not. And America basically deemed themselves, they knew that they didn't have enough votes to keep the country up here. So they basically pulled out of the vote, or not necessarily pulled out, but they thought that they had a deal with some African nations that they would do the right thing and vote right because of some money, some palm greasing they had did, but the African nation reneged on their vote, and this is his stance, and this is his rebuttal, and his discrepancy with the African nation. But let's see, I'm gonna let the other white dude say something.
Well, I don't know if anything they could have done. I happened to be on that Asian trip that the president had asked us to make for him at the time, and meeting ambassadors in 6 of the Asian countries, and meeting the heads of state of all of those countries. Everyone was confident that this would not happen, that it would wind up with both China's in there, because everyone was aware of the work that had been going on in the part of our country to
like, it's kind of irrelevant to 2019, about the two different channels back then, but I'm trying to set up the whole play that the black media is pushing the move what we pushing. So it's necessary, even though it is boring, not entertaining, old ass, ragged ass footage from the 50 years ago. But sometimes this shit is, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So let's just sit through this and get through it. And I got another clip to show you.
See that happened. First of all, the big surprise was when the vote was taken. No one expected the vote to be taken for another month. And then there were several nations, as I say, that just deliberately broke their pledged word, went the other way. And I just, I thought that the United Nations, in that action, branded itself as a debating society, and I honestly don't.
He felt like the United Nations branded itself as a debating society. So apparently, that's something that he feel like that's not a legitimate society to be a part of. So
I believe that the United States should feel bound by any of its votes.
Did you go along with Senator Goldwater that we ought to pull out of it then?
Well, I think it'd be awfully hard. I understand his saying it. I think it'd be awfully hard for a major nation. We all had so much hope in this organization, and still believe, and I still believe, that someday the cause of world peace is only going to come about over a table, nations willing to talk instead of fight. So any nation would think a long time before they would deliver.
First off, we know no American president want world peace. So let's just get that out the way.
The death blow, and certainly if the United States withdrew, I think it would be the death blow of the United Nations. But I think there are other things we could do.
If the United States withdraw, that'll be the death of the United Nations. I say all this because I'm going to bring it back up again in a minute.
I think that the United States, for example, I hinted at it a moment ago, I think the United States could participate in debate, in discussion, continue to support many of the
United States should participate in debate and discussion, even though they want to, even though he feel like they should withhold a vote, they should definitely participate in the debates and the discussion. Let's register all of this.
Agencies as we do that are doing good works, the kind of charitable agencies and educational functions and so forth, but just not particularly. Okay,
I might be pausing it a bit much, but you got to clean up lies as soon as you hear them, and lies and side straddle talk. So these educational entities that he's talking about are only meant to uphold white supremacy. So just so it sounds so rational when he said to the virgin ears, if you thinking that he telling the truth, it sounds so rational. So that's why I got to point out the bullshit.
Participate in the voting, and by not voting ourselves, thus remove ourselves from being bound by any votes. You see, one thing that needs reorganization.
So if the black media, according to his strategy, if the black people of the United States, let me hear what he said again. I want to make sure I don't want to misquote.
And by not voting ourselves, thus remove ourselves from being bound by any votes. You see, one thing that needs reorganization is the fact.
He says if you remove yourself, then you're not bound by any votes. So that's the whole strategy. That's part of the whole strategy. What we going for right now is by removing our vote out of your democracy, so-called democracy, we letting you know right now that your shit ain't legitimate and we done participating in it. Same strategy that Reagan was pushing 50 years ago. So if what's good for the gooses is good for the gander. Understand that.
But here are more than half of the nations in the United Nations today can carry a vote as a majority, and they represent less than 10% of the world's population.
America represents less than 5% of the world population. See, these politicians, they say so much shit and leave out so much shit right at the same time.
You'd be for reorganizing that, for one thing.
maybe some of these people who are so strong for one man, one vote ought to consider it with regard to the UN.
Now that's definitely slave talk. If you ain't heard slave talk before in code, that was it. All these people who so strong about one man, one vote. Well, what the fuck else do one man equal? But we already know y'all do what y'all want to do with y'all votes anyway. But just for the sake of picking his ass apart, what the fuck else do one man equal? If why you telling me to go to the fucking poll if I'm one man and my vote don't equal the vote of one man? Why would I run to that motherfucker? Just think about some of this shit, bro.
We must take a pause, excuse me.
Now, of course, Ronald Reagan.
Okay. I'm sorry, Professor True. You my guy, bro. If you ever was to see that video, but I'm gonna get to this second clip. What you had on here, bro? I think I had it marked off at like 23 minutes. But you definitely, for anybody listening to me, if you enjoy my commentary and you feel the shit I be saying, you definitely got to get Black Truth. I mean, say yeah, Professor Black Truth in your on your brain sometime. Okay. All right, now that's a little too far. I want to start it right from the beginning of this statement. I might cut some of this medium shit out right here. He right there. Okay. All right. So let's see what he said. Let's see what he got to say on this second clip.
Some sort of vote. If a vote is taken and white supremacy doesn't get its way, what should white supremacy's response be?
But I think there are other things we could do. I think that the United States, for example, I hinted at it a moment ago, I think the United States could participate in debate, in discussion, continue to support many of the agencies as we do that are doing good works, the kind of charitable agencies and educational.
So that's what we already covered. Even though we not participating in the motherfucking election, get what? We still showing up, pushing our issues to the forefront. We still being irritant to these fake ass Democrats and racist Democrats and racist ass Republicans. We still pushing our issues to the forefront with them and letting them know that until y'all put these issues at the forefront of your agenda, until you make our agenda your agenda, we not gonna participate, and we gonna show the strength. We gonna show our strength in not participating. And man, it's so scary. You ought to see they pulling out all the stops right now. They throwing together different all black panels, all so-called black panels, quote unquote black panels, to try to push their message out that these guys that y'all listening to online are crazy. What in the hell you doing listening to them? They don't represent the real reparations. So if we don't represent the real reparations, and that comes in the first form of a check, if you don't cut the check, then no other form of reparations mean a fucking thing. Because financial reparations, educational reparations, justice system reparations, religious reparations, just living in America reparations. This is where it's at. And if that's what we implement the Ronald Reagan strategy. This is the Ronald Reagan strategy right here. Thank you, Sir Racist Reagan.
Functions and so forth, but just not participate in the voting. And by not voting ourselves, thus remove ourselves from being bound by any votes. You see, one thing that needs reorganization is the fact that we're more than half of the nations in the United Nations today can carry a vote as a majority, and they represent less than 10% of the world's population.
America is included on that list that you just mentioned, that you forgot to mention America on. So, yeah. Like we said, America represent less than 5% of the world population. So, if America get a vote if America is represented 1 for 1, one whole equal one whole, then why the fuck not the people of Africa That's who he mad at on the clip, by the way. That's who he said this shit right after he said the racist shit about the Africans not being comfortable wearing shoes and all that rhetoric that he spit to the president at the time. I think they said it was Nixon or whoever. So he mad at the African nations, even though the black vote did not, really affect that vote for the United Nations. But it always when you asking a racist or a white supremacist, who if he got his pick on who to blame, is gonna always be the darkest man in the room. But I want to say that's neither here nor there, but it's everywhere. So, but I'm gonna continue on with the motherfucking tape anyway.
Thank you for reorganizing that. One thing.
And what did Reagan say the white power should do? Participate in debate and discussion. That was the first thing he said. We should continue to participate in debate and discussion. Oh, so what that means is just because you're not in the process doesn't mean you stop trying to influence that process.
Yes, I wanted to let my guy Black Truth tell you, man. And this is the same shit what we pushing it to the end. We already know the shit is gonna take more than the 2020 election, and we already know we gotta get a bunch of more people on board, but not necessarily, because it ain't gonna be a lot of people that make this shit happen. But it gonna be the strong and the people that and the fearless people that is fed up with white supremacy to the point that it's whatever now. Whatever, y'all ain't nothing else y'all can do to push me off of this square that I'm on. It's on. It's up. That's like my people say, it's up, and it's up there, and it's meant to be up there. Okay? So I just wanted to show you how white supremacy, when you use the same strategies that they use on other people, it's a big threat to them, and they really don't know how to deal with that. So they pull right now. They getting ready to pull out all the stop, man. So just be aware and be ready to fight every day. It's your boy, man. Godly Mind State, man.